once again, everyone welcome to the RSNA 2014 Exhibitor Online Press Office webinar hosted by Virtual Press Office and PR Newswire. Today we'll be discussing the online press office as well as some tips and tricks that you can use as an exhibitor to really boost your presence at the show for your media outreach. Today we will, the presenters for this will be myself. This is Gina Espinosa. I am the Event Marketing Manager at Virtual Press Office. And we also have on the line Lisa Kopak-Miller. She is one of the sales account managers at Virtual Press Office. So
hi, everyone.
Lisa. So as I mentioned, if we could all just mute your lines to avoid any background noise, we will be taking some questions at the end via the chat option. So then we will wait to answer those at the end of the presentation. All right. So a little bit about us. We are the trade show division of PR Newswire. We deliver electronic communication solutions to support the client public relations and sales programs at events. We serve over 8,000 organizations, including global event organizers, trade show association, newswire services, public relations agencies, and companies. And we are currently the global leader in online press office management and trade show news distribution. We have over 400 events that we work with that rely on Virtual Press Office services. From this foundation, we've developed a really successful formula to reduce our clients' news distribution and marketing costs while greatly expanding reach and measurement of ROI analysis. And a lot of this information we will cover today and go over the fundamentals of the online press office as well as I mentioned, some tips and tricks for you as well. So here is an example of our online press office. This is basically the layout of what you will find on the RSNA online press office. So we have press releases that filter into the page as well as the press kits that are set up by exhibitors. And we also have some multimedia and social media functionality on the page. It pulls in some articles, Twitter from the RSNA direct Twitter feed, as well as some YouTube videos and also Flickr photos. So it's a really comprehensive web page for the journalists to access and find your information for the show. It is not locked. They can access it 24/7 on or off the show floor. So it's a really great place to find everything in one location online. And this is an example of an online press kit. This is basically what your online press kit would look like if you do decide to participate in the program. You receive your name, logo, and URL to really brand your online press kit area, as well as your company or PR contact that will access easy follow-up for journalists. You get a 50-word company description to really, show what your company is about, or if you have something specific that you want to highlight that you're exhibiting at the show, you can also put this in your company description. We also have your address information, and towards the bottom underneath all of this, this is your actual press kit documents. Now, a basic online press kit will include 6 documents of any length, and this could be really anything from press releases to images, brochures, fact sheets, really anything that you would put in a physical paper press kit or a USB press kit. We can put in this for you. Your press releases are also distributed to the attending media at the show, as well as our VPO global database of industry-specific media. This is media that has signed up to our site to either receive event-specific news or industry-specific news. And you will also receive measurement after the show. This is a post-show report that outlines these journalists and industry professionals that received your press releases. And we will go over a lot of this in more detail as the presentation progresses. And so our online press kit packages for this basic online press kit start at $635. But we also have packages available which include a deeply discounted PR newswire services. Some of those services we will go over towards the end of the meeting. And this can also be found on the RSNA online press office. There is an option where you can find the packages that we offer for the show. Okay, so. And I'm going to hand it off to Lisa to discuss how to media before and during the show.
Thanks, Gina. So my name is Lisa, as Gina mentioned earlier. I'm with the sales team at Virtual Press Office. And one of the most common questions we get for the event is, how do I find the registered media list? So just wanted to go over that with you. If you're looking for that specific list from RSNA, you can contact Emma Day. Her email address is up here as well as her phone number, and you can reach out to her directly to request the list. For this list, just to let you all know, the list is last year's previous list, but generally it's the same media that are attending the show every year, so it's pretty spot on to who will be looking for news from the show for this year. So the first step in doing your research is really, getting the list and taking a look at what type of media you'll be targeting at the show. Let's talk about the direct pitch. So this is what you're doing on your part to really reach out to the media directly. The online press kit is great because it funnels all the news into one space, but you also want to do your research and definitely do your own direct outreach as well. When you're contacting the media, it's best to always use a smart, short subject line to make your introduction. You don't want to put anything misleading or lengthy. Just get right to the point with them. Journalists wear a lot of hats, so it's best to just be direct, to the point, do your research, and make a well thought out pitch via email, which typically tends to be their preferred method. It's best to also look at, before you pitch the journalist, what they've recently covered. So if they've done a story about a certain type of technology, then you can go in with your point of view on that previous article. So anything to show that you've done your research, you know what they cover, that will definitely help you out in your direct pitch. Taking it a step further from that, we have the newsjack, which is kind of a coined industry term for putting your spin on current events or a breaking story. A good example of this is earlier in the year, CVS announced that they're not going to be selling cigarettes anymore. So what you could do is inject your angle into that news story. Do you have a survey, an expert, a point of view on this? Let the media know that you're available and willing to speak on this topic. The other approach here, Gina, do you have something?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So yeah, the other approach is just sending out a pre-show advisory, giving the media a good overview of what to expect at the show. So you always want to look at who, what, where, when, why, and how, where you're going to be. I pulled this one from last year's press page. This is from Clear Guide Medical. And I like this example because it does a really good job of showing their booth number, the media contact, how to get in touch with them. And if you read through the whole release, it gives specific details on dates, what's going on at their booth. So really just make sure that you're giving them all the necessary information that will allow them to easily find you at the show and give them the reason for why they should visit. Okay, so this,
I was gonna talk
okay.
about this.
Go
But
ahead,
yeah,
Gina.
so this is the press kit roundup. This is something that we recently launched that has been extremely effective in reaching the media. It's a roundup of exhibitor profiles that sign up for the virtual press office service. And this is, as you can see, it includes all the names of the companies that have participated, as well as your company description. And this is sent through our PR Newswire US 1 distribution, which is a nationwide distribution. So if for some, if you have a smaller budget and you can't really pay for the upgraded PR Newswire services, at least your online press kit, it shows that you participated in VPO. You can find your news. We direct back to the RSNA online press office, and then they can find your news from there.
Gina, just piggybacking off of that, we rolled this out, this roundup release about halfway through the year. And we've really found some great success with this from the individual exhibitors. If you go in after the show and just search in Google News for your company name and the show, this typically will pop up as one of the first results, especially if you didn't do any other wire. This will pop up. So it's a really great extra boost for you to link your company to the show and to link your press kit to the show as well.
So next we're going to be discussing creating an engaging press kit. So one of our what we suggest is really adding some compelling content. Help tell your story. As mentioned, you really can put in any kind of content that you would want the media to see. So we absolutely encourage including images into your online press kit, as well as we can embed a YouTube video directly on your online press kit. So it's really a great way to engage, to actually make a great engaging press kit. You can also add some graphics, some recent survey results that your company may have conducted, as well as any studies that you've conducted as well.
What I always recommend doing is take an inventory of what you actually have. A lot of the times we'll get your news release, you'll send that in, we'll post that, and that's great. But maybe take the extra step to look through your desktop. What else do you have that you've used for other purposes that would still be relevant that you can include here? Do you have a recent white paper that would be relevant to RSNA? Things like that. You want to think of the whole picture, not just the certain release that you have for the show, but any type of supporting element that helps tell your story.
Okay, so this is some other options that we also suggest. Include your social media channels. Link back to all of your social media on your online press kit. And that way you can have people that can follow you. It's easily accessible in one location. And we also suggest to, put a call to action button on there. If you have a certain product that you want to highlight or link back to, or really anything that you want someone to really take that extra step and go a step further to find additional information, we absolutely suggest a call to action button for that as well.
That's a newer feature on our press kit, so if that's something you want to do after you order and you get the welcome email from our files team, just send them a note saying you're interested in doing that and send them whatever link you want that call to action button to go to, and they'll help you set that up. So
be social. Keep your online buzz going during the show. Tag the RSNA hashtag. It's RSNA14. So definitely keep the buzz going for your company on your social media. Be sure to have someone updating your social media throughout the day and really be conversational. You can also follow bloggers and influencers that most interest you at RSNA. Chime into their online conversations that pertain to your brand. And again, this is going to keep the buzz for your company going for the show. And we also suggest link your VPO online press kit to your social media accounts. You know, like we said, the pages aren't locked. You can share them with anybody, and anybody can access them online. So absolutely share them with, you know, on your Facebook or tweet them out. And go ahead. Yeah, I was going to throw it to you after Sheila.
I found this recent example from Toshiba Medical. They do a really good job here of putting an interesting, creative tweet out. You know, so often you look for the hashtag and you see a lot of, hey, we're really excited for the show, come visit us, but no real, you know, information. So they link to a YouTube video. They have a catchy tweet here that's short and to the point, includes the hashtag. So just really, you know, you want to be active on social media, but be sure to maybe make a few edits to what you're putting out and make sure it's getting to the point of what you're actually presenting at your booth, and make it the messaging as effective as possible.
Okay. Lisa, you want to go over the triple check?
Sure. So this, you know, we've kind of tied into this already. Just make sure that once you have your press kit together, take another quick inventory check of it. Make sure that you include your booth number. I would try to put that on any type of release or brochure that you have out. Put it in your company description that you send in if you're going to do the virtual press office. Send us your current logo. When you send us your phone number on the order form, just so you all know, that phone number that you put is what's going to go in your actual press kit. So make sure that you put a cell phone if you're not going to be at your desk. If you're going to be on the show floor, give us your cell, or give us the best number possible for whoever is going to be taking the calls from the press. And if you're away from your desk, change your voicemail so it says that you're on the show floor, and give instructions on how to contact you directly. The other thing is, you know, make sure that you include your calendar of events. Let the media know if you're going to have a panel discussion, happy hour. Tell them what time, where, who's going to be there, what's going on. Give all the details on everything that's happening at your booth. Link to your social media channels. We went over that already. And then just be sure to, again, include anything that would be relevant, product shots, company bios, things like that.
And now we'll be talking, giving you some examples of the successful PR campaigns, really news releases that stand out. So this is the best time to distribute your news. In 2013, the busiest release traffic days were the first day of the show, Monday the 2nd, there were 15 headlines, and Tuesday the 3rd, there were 11 headlines. So we really, you know, don't shy away from the weekends. Definitely send out your news when it becomes available and during the busy times of the release traffic. You can send your news ahead of time. If it is ready, you don't have to wait until it should be distributed. You can give us embargo times, and we'll hold that release for you until the specified date, time, and time zone. And Lisa, you want to talk about the Thanksgiving hours?
Sure. So RSNA, you all know, typically falls close to Thanksgiving in the U.S. So the virtual press office has holiday hours. We're closed on Thanksgiving and the day after. That being said, if you have news that you can't send ahead of time, it needs to come out on that Thursday or Friday, go ahead and send it to our files team as usual, but please be sure to copy your account manager on that email, and then call us. We all have our cell phones on us. We know RSNA is going on, so we'll be checking. So if you just give us a call, we'll go in and set it up really quick. It just takes a few moments, and we could, again, set an embargo time specific down to the second. So if you can, we encourage you to send everything in ahead of time, but if you can't avoid it, just give us a phone call and copy us, and we'll work with you to get that out over the holiday. And then also the deadline to be included in that PR Newswire Roundup release that we mentioned earlier is November 18th. So what that essentially means is you just need to register for the virtual press office service by then. You don't necessarily need to have any of your content ready. You just need to register, and we'll list you in that press release that goes out.
If you want to talk about the headlines? Yeah.
Yeah, so this just goes, again, to the point of, it's easy to put kind of a generic headline together, but better headlines get better pickup. This is a really good example. It's not really relevant to RSNA, but it's a good example, so I wanted to share it. This went out from Whole Foods, and this is what your grocery store looks like without bees, and there's a photo included with bees and without, what would and would not be there. So it's it's something short and direct, and this got great media pickup. It was on the cover of Time magazine. So something as simple as writing a creative headline really can go a long way for you. It's easy to kind of, again, fall into your format. XYZ company announces a new line of products at RSNA, but think about what's your hook, who are you trying to target, and really try to draw on the reader with that headline. I also wanted to mention during a media panel discussion earlier this year with a group of journalists, they really were kind of challenging the PR industry to change the format of the release. We all have our templates that we use, but they are looking for short headlines, things like bullet pointed information, infographics, something that they can really quickly tear and go with. So really tell your own story. Don't wait for the journalist to pick up the release and put a spin on it. Put your own angle to your story and get it out there. And the journalists will appreciate that. They all have a lot on their plate, so the easier you make it for them to just to go with, the more pickup you'll have. These are some of the headlines that we really liked from last year, from last year's RSNA VPO page. This first one from Clear Guide Medical is really nice. It says, Clear Guide Medical is something of an underdog at RSNA, quote, an interview with CEO Dorothy Heisenberg. So you could have easily said something like, CEO Dorothy available for interview at RSNA. But something like this is just so much more catchy, and it made me click into it just from reading the headline. And I think it was something along the lines of they're new at the show, or they're a smaller company, and they talked about their strong points, and it was a really good news release. RSNA actually had really good headlines as well, so if you're looking for some inspiration, you could look through their headlines.
Okay. So multimedia is key. Lisa, do you want to touch on the multimedia aspect?
Sure. This is a release from Philips that went out last year. They do a lot of multimedia with their news releases, and we see consistently from our results that their releases are always kind of up there in the highest ranking for RSNA. According to Inc. magazine, on Facebook, videos are shared 12 times more often than text and links, and photos receive twice as many likes as text updates. Sites like Instagram are growing even faster than Facebook and Pinterest. So you really want to think about your approach. Are you including video? Are you including images? These are the types of releases that get the best results. And then also something to point out, Google is the #1 search engine. We probably all know that. But YouTube is actually the #2 search engine. So that tells you that people are looking for video. When they're looking for information, they want to see video. And this is information, you can see the sources here, but this information came from a recent PR Newswire webinar on forecasting PR trends for 2015. So if this type of thing interests you, just send me an email and I'll send you the link to the full webinar. Okay, and then this is actually a survey that PR Newswire did recently that shows that our releases that have multimedia content are clicked on almost 10 times more than releases that have no multimedia content. So just adding something, a logo, some sort of generic stock photo always helps. Video increases your click-throughs a lot as well. And if you want more information about how to create an infographic, how to script a video, best practices, things like that, let us know. We'll send you, PR Newswire does all sorts of articles, webinars, blog posts about all these different topics. So if you're looking for some guidance, reach out to VPO and we'll help you out.
Okay, so now we're going to cover how the media benefits from the online press office. We send out RSNA daily headline emails directly to the registered media list with a few of the daily headlines that we receive for the show. So this is a way that your headlines will be proactively sent to the media, and they can find it easily. It links back to the RSNA website, the online press office. And so it's really an additional distribution that they receive. The RSNA website is this online press office is found right under the media tab. So it's actually really, really easy for them to find. It's really easily accessible for them also. You also have your releases posted to vpoinc.com. This is our general website. So beyond being on the RSNA online press office, you can see that there's latest event news, and it will be posted within our actual vpoinc.com website. So if there's journalists that may not necessarily go to the RSNA website for news, they can find it through our personal website. And there's also the VPO Release On Demand service. This is actually, we have this on the RSNA webpage also if they would like to subscribe to VPO. So they can really just say, that they want to receive the news for the show, and then everything is directly sent to them, whether they want it immediately, hourly, daily. So they can really sign up and get it whenever they need. And we're going to cover some of the benefits of the online press office. It saves time and money. It really reduces your cost. It's actually approximately a third of the cost in traditional paper press kit production, which is also due not just for the materials, but it's the workload. You don't need to burn CDs and flash drives and actually put together a paper press kit. Once your material is available, you email them to VPO, and we do everything else. It also eliminates waste. Journalists no longer waste time hunting for your information. The content's centralized in that one single event news site, and the PR contact listing for your company allows for easy follow-up. It also improves awareness. Every press kit is search engine optimized. So this is an example from an exhibitor at Toy Fair. They put in their name, Text for Kids, and American International Toy Fair, and it was actually one of the first results that popped up. So all of your releases are search engine optimized. Flexibility and shelf life. As we mentioned, your press materials can come in at any time. There's no deadline date for your materials. They can come before, during, or after the show. So if there is an embargo date, you can certainly send it to us beforehand, but if you have any post-show news, you can absolutely send it after the show as well. And your online press kit will also be available for 1 year online. So you can revert back to it. You can still tweet it out. You can still, it'll still be available. It also eliminates uncertainty. As I mentioned, you will receive a post-show media usage report that outlines the journalists that had access to your press releases. And this is just a general example of this report. You'll see the categories that it hits as well as the countries. And at the bottom of this, it's not listed, but you'll also receive the actual company name, contact name, title, and country of every journalist and industry professional that received your press releases. we're trying to get through this quick because I know we're a little bit over. But Lisa's going to touch a little bit on some of the additional PR Newswire distribution options.
Yep, so we'll customize a distribution for you to work best with your plan, but in general I'll touch on two quickly that are the most popular. The first is our national exposure, and this is a combination of PR Newswire's premium domestic U.S. distribution as well as your online press kit. So you're hitting the media at the event and then also general media outside of the show as well. And again, I know that we have a lot of exhibitors in Canada and in Europe, so we'll work with you to reach your audience as well if you're not just looking for media in the U.S. And then our second most popular option is probably our web visibility package. And this is a combination of your online press kit plus PR Newswire's WebMax Plus newsline. And what this does is hit the websites that receive the PR Newswire feed. So it's just online. It's not going directly into the newsrooms. It's more for search purposes and for online posting. And when you use something like this, you could do a traditional release, but it's a great way to promote something in a non-traditional way as well. This is a quote from an agency who blogs on a regular basis, but what they do is send out a news release using the WebMax Plus distribution to promote their blog post, and they see immediate spikes in their traffic to the blog when they combined the blog posting with the WebMax Plus distribution. So it's a great way to expand your audience reach and find new connections and followers.
Okay, so in conclusion, we're here to help you. For any additional information or questions about this presentation or any of the online press office or PR Newswire services, please feel free to contact us. Here is our phone details as well as our general email where you can email us some of your questions after the webinar. And you can also follow us on Twitter. That is our Twitter name, and you can certainly tweet it out, any questions to us, and follow us. And we really appreciate you joining us today. So we are extending everybody who joined this webinar a 10% discount on any Plus Kit package you secure by November 12th. Again, your documents don't need to be ready for you to secure which package you decide. It can be submitted at any time, but as long as you secure your specific package before the 12th, you will receive a 10% discount for joining us today. So we will, I know we're a little bit over, but I will stay on the line, and Lisa will stay on the line also. If you have any questions, please feel free to chat on the bottom, and Lisa and I will be happy to answer any of your questions.
We did get one question from Patty. She was asking about those headlines that we put earlier in the slides. She mentioned there were two from Bridgehead, and she was asking if we're saying those were done well and impactful. And yes, what we did was kind of go through last year's headlines and find some that we thought did a good job of explaining their point of view and drawing in the reader.
And we did get a question, will you be emailing a copy of the press as well? I'm assuming this means the press list. If you do want a copy of the press list, that can be accessed by RSNA. We did have their details in one of the earlier slides, which this entire presentation also will be available, as mentioned, on the RSNA website. And we will also send you a copy of the link so you can refer to it later.
And the headline feed from the virtual press office page for RSNA, those headlines are all sent to the official press list for RSNA, in addition to anyone else who registers to get the news feed. So anything you post to the press kit, as long as it's a news release, it will be included in that feed. As well as anything from PR Newswire, if you send it over the wire and it mentions RSNA. PR Newswire is the official wire for the show, so that'll be coded to go into the show site as well.
And we had a question, does RSNA still have a physical press office, and does the VPO take place of the physical press kit? They still have a physical press office, so if you do decide to submit traditional materials as well, they absolutely will accept it. This is just an alternative option to go online versus really just having it at RSNA itself. And again, it reaches beyond the show floor, so you can really hit media that may not even be attending RSNA or any industry professionals that are interested in news coming from the show.
Mm-hmm. And even just anyone who's doing research on your company, this will pop up in search results. It's archived online for a year. So your company name and all of your news and content will be posted online for 1 year, and it'll continue to come up in search. So really, even for that aspect, if you have your specific media that you interact with and you have a good relationship with, it's still worth doing this just to have everything associated with the show online, and it'll continue to come up in search.
Okay, we'll wait another minute just for any other additional questions.
If you think of anything else, email us or call in. We'll respond to you pretty quickly, or we could set up a time to do an additional call with your team if you have anyone else that you want to be included in this, or we'll have questions. It's sales@vpoinc.com.
All right, so it doesn't look like we have any questions. As Lisa mentioned, if you think of anything, please feel free to contact us, and we will absolutely help you and assist you in any questions you may have. Thank you all again for joining us today, and we hope to work with you for RSNA for your outreach needs, and I hope you all have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.